Global War 36 enthusiast here with Operation Boston, turn 1.2 CCP and 1.3 USSR. It is July 1936. Jumping ahead to the Soviet Union, I have one tech role from rapid industrialization. I tried for improved factories at a 7 or higher. PB generated an 11, so I succeeded. Keeping up with the Germans, that's my plan, is to keep tech, every tech success Germany gets, Russia gets one. That sounds appropriate to me. Okay, so CCP. CCP has 2 IPP to spend. I'll purchase nothing and save 2 so that I can try to increase my spreading influence role. Previewing the Soviet purchases, I have 4 IPP to spend. I'm going to lend lease 1 artillery to the Spanish Republicans for 4. Combat movement. I will do my standard attack into Szechuan. 2 mountain, 1 cavalry going into Szechuan. So it'll be 6 pips on 6 pips. I've got this teed up on PBE. At least I have the first round teed up on PBE. Let's see what PBE generates. Okay, so I did get 1 hit, and so did he. So on the first round, my 2 mountain and 1 cavalry rolled 11, 2, and 10, so 1 hit. His militia hit with a 2, and his defending infantry missed with an 8. So it's 1 and 1. I'll lose my cavalry, he'll lose his militia. It's 4 pips to 4 pips. Let's see what happens in round 2. All right, so I've got 2 at 2. Oh, it's almost, this one almost rolled over to a 1. He's got 1 at 4. 2 at 2. Hit. 1 at 4. Oh, that's very painful. All right, I took it with 1 mountain infantry. I hope this pays off. Let me get a rondelle. All right, so that will increase my spreading influence roll on Hopei. I'll pay the 2 IPP, so I'll have a 4. A chance at 4 to spread influence to Hopei. PBE generates a 10. Darn. Okay. Didn't pay off. And then I've got a recruitment at 1. Oh no, I've got a recruitment at 2, because I did get Szechuan. And I rolled a 10. Okay, consistent. So that's the end of CCP's turn. They'll collect 2. I have Shenxi has 2 militia, and Szechuan has 1 mountain. Alrighty. Let's begin USSR. We already talked about how I'm going to send the artillery via Lend-Lease. Combat movement, I'll put this little torpedo destroyer on escort duty. I do have an attack here in Spain from eastern Andalusia. 1 cavalry will move over. Should have got out a rondelle for that. I got out CCP rondelles praying that I would get Hopei, but alas. Okay. And then I'm doing a strategic bombing mission into Galicia and Leon. I'm bombing the major shipyard here with the medium bomber, and I'm bringing my fighter as escort. I did ask Hambone if he would like to intercept. I haven't seen. Nope, he says nope, he will not try to intercept. So let's roll this out. I didn't have it teed up on PBE because I didn't expect that he would answer me, so I didn't want to reveal. I didn't want him to see whether I got shot down here or not. So I've got a D6 for the damage, and then a AA roll. Hopefully I don't suffer. Okay, so I did 3 points of damage, and I dodged a bullet. Put that 3 damage marker on the shipyard there. All right, and then I will land the medium bomber in Madrid, but I'll land the fighter in Catalonia. That's the end of my combat movement. Let's do non-combat movement. While we're in Spain here, 1 infantry from Eastern Andalusia will move to Madrid, and 1 infantry from Basque Country will move to Madrid, and that will get me up to 4 infantry in Madrid. All right. I feel like, I don't think I moved the Catalonia guy. He's going to move into Madrid too. I'll do the recruitment at the end of the turn there. Okay. Yeah, naval units. In port, I'll put the heavy cruiser and the destroyer. In Catalonia. And then the coastal sub will move down 1 to M2. Okay. Let me get my notes out for all the combat moves, or all the non-combat moves that the Soviets are going to do. From Sea Zone P7, 1 torpedo boat destroyer and 1 submarine will move to P3. 1, 2, 3. Just off the coast of Kamchatka. From Yakutsk, 1 infantry is going to strategic rail to Transcaucasia, and from Primorsky Krai, 1 infantry is going to strategic rail move to Kola. So let's take these 2 infantry off. One of them comes down to Transcaucasia. And one of the Siberians ends up there in Kola. All right, let's go back to Siberia for some other movement. From Amur, 1 infantry moves over to Chita. From Central Mongolia, 1 cavalry moves to Kobdo. From Novosibirsk, 1 cavalry moves to Buryatia. From Central Kazakhstan, 1 motorized infantry moves to Stalingrad, and then from Stalingrad, 1 motorized infantry moves to Oral-Kursk. From Western Kazakhstan, 1 infantry moves to Kalmytskaya. From Gorky, 1 infantry moves to Moscow. From Saratov, 1 infantry moves to Moscow. From Stalingrad, 1 infantry moves to Kalmytskaya. From North Caucasia, 1 infantry moves to Transcaucasia. From North Caucasia, 1 cavalry moves to Orel-Kursk. From Western Russia, 1 infantry moves up to Karelia. From Western Russia, 1 cavalry moves to Orel-Kursk. From Smolensk, 1 infantry moves to Western Russia. From Smolensk, 1 light armor moves to Orel-Kursk. From Moscow, 1 fighter and tactical bomber fly to Leningrad. I think that's on camera, but maybe not. From Moscow, 1 air transport flies to eastern Kazakhstan. So 1 to Saratov, 2 to Orenburg. Yeah, it has plenty of range to make it to eastern Kazakhstan. From southern Belarusia, 1 infantry moves to Smolensk. From Orel-Kursk, 1 infantry moves to eastern Ukraine. From Orel-Kursk, 1 fighter flies to Leningrad. From Donetsk-Kuban, 1 seaplane flies to Leningrad. From eastern Ukraine, 1 infantry moves to Kyiv. From eastern Ukraine, 1 motorized infantry moves to Orel-Kursk. From Kyiv, 1 light armor moves to Orel-Kursk. From western Ukraine, 1 infantry moves to Kyiv. From southern Ukraine, 1 infantry moves to Kyiv. From C-Zone M11, 1 heavy cruiser and 1 destroyer move to C-Zone M2. So 1 to M10, 2 to M7, 3 to M4, 4 to M2. And I think that is everything. So Lend-Lease delivery from Stalingrad, 1 artillery is built at the medium factory. It rails to southern Ukraine, embarks. It's free to move out into M10, then 1 to M7, 2 to M4, 3 to M2, 4 to M1, and it debarks in Catalonia. All right. Now we've got some recruitment roles. 1 for Mongolia at 4, and 1 for the Spanish Republicans at 8. PBE generated a 4 for Mongolia and an 8 for Spain, so that's great. Let's see, over here, I'm going to get 1 infantry in central Mongolia. I should have thought about what I want to do with the Spanish. I think we're going to get another infantry in Madrid. Okay. Collect income. USSR collects 4 IPP. Disposition of forces. In Western Andalusia, 1 cavalry. In Madrid, 6 infantry, 1 medium bomber. In Catalonia, 1 artillery, 1 fighter in port in Catalonia, 1 heavy cruiser, 1 destroyer. In M2, 1 Spanish Republican coastal submarine, 1 Soviet heavy cruiser and destroyer. In Sea Zone A14, 2 submarines. I'm going to have my Navy go in port there. They weren't set up in port, but I accidentally had them in port because it didn't completely tear down my map. But anyway, in port there in Leningrad is 1 light cruiser, 1 destroyer. In Leningrad, 1 militia, 3 infantry, 2 fighters, 1 tactical bomber, 1 seaplane. In Kola, 1 infantry. In Karelia, 2 infantry. Oh, wasn't I supposed to move an infantry out of northern Russia? Let me check that. Yeah, in northern Russia, the infantry should have moved to Karelia. So in Karelia, 3 infantry. In western Russia, 1 infantry. In Smolensk, 1 infantry. In Moscow, 3 infantry. In Orel-Kursk, 2 cavalry, 3 motorized infantry, 2 light armor. In eastern Ukraine, 1 infantry. In Kyiv, 4 infantry. Crimea, 1 infantry. Sea Zone M11, 1 coastal submarine. Sea Zone M12, 1 torpedo boat destroyer on escort duty. Transcaucasia, 3 infantry. Kalmytskaya, 2 infantry. Stalingrad, 1 motorized infantry. Turkmenistan, 1 infantry. Eastern Kazakhstan, 1 air transport. Novosibirsk, 1 infantry. Buryatia, 1 cavalry. Chita, 1 militia, 1 infantry, 1 motorized infantry. Sea Zone P3, 1 submarine, 1 torpedo boat destroyer. I forgot to place my destroyer and submarine off the build queue. They both go into A14. The destroyer will join the ships in port, and the sub will be out to sea. Let me put that on camera. Next up is Hambone with turn 1.4, Japan.